Be live any moment now, from the looks of it. There we go. Let's give one last attempt to doing some egg hatching. Try and get the chest spin, chest snort, that whole line in shiny. If we can get 1 or 2 eggs, that'd be great. I'm not holding my breath out for it, but it does seem like these starters are going to be shiny huntable in the overworld in the DLC when it comes out tomorrow, or tonight. So I might not have to keep up this shiny hunt much longer anyway. But we're going to do one batch of trying to shiny hunt eggs for this. And if that fails, what we might do is just do a bunch of raids and try and get some... Still fighting off this cough. Might try and do some raids to get some more Herba Mystica ready to do a bunch of shiny hunting in the DLC when it arrives. Hey AJ, how are you doing today? I'm good. I'm tired. Hey C Keenan. Yeah, I'm tired but alright. I'm trying to get all my big end of 2023, start of 2024 videos done so I can take like a couple of weeks off over the festive period. Which means I have like a full script for my 2023 accessibility recap video. I have a full script written for my accessibility standards we want to see in 2024 video. And I have worked out what my awards are going to be for Game of the Year, like for my general Game of the Year video, and started writing the script for that, ready to get all of that done. I wanted to get those scripts as written as I could get them before today, because I know that tomorrow I'm going to spend basically the entire day streaming the Pokemon DLC, and given that I have like until the end of next week to get all of those videos like recorded and edited realistically, it's like I've got to actually write them. I can't spend a day doing the Pokemon DLC unless I get my words written first. Hey, Artist Synth. Hey, Echo. AJ says, I should have been trying to get my shinies done before the DLC, but I'm deep in the Monster Hunter Rise / Sunbreak hole. That is a time sink of a hole to get into. I think all you have to do, I think you have to have beaten the first DLC to do the second DLC tomorrow, but, you know, if you've not finished shiny hunting it, like, there's no deadline on doing that. Tara says, I guess that Laura is taking a heel turn and is giving Game of the Year to Hogwarts Legacy, calling it now. You caught me, Tara. Hogwarts Legacy is my Game of the Year. I pretended to boycott it and not play it, but I actually played it, and ooh, I loved Sir Rona Ryan, who was very tactfully named trans woman. Teehee. Mr. Purple Phoenix in the Twitch chat says, Laura, hope you're well. My wonderful wife has bought me a PS5 for Christmas. I'm a very lucky sausage. Are there any games that you'd recommend on PS5 for someone just getting back into non-Switch gaming? Not to, like, jump into, like, my Game of the Year thoughts too much and, like, spoil what's going to be in that video. Are you looking for, like, PlayStation-specific stuff that you might not have had a chance to play on Switch? Or are you looking, like, if the thing is on Switch but it's also on PlayStation and you might not have played it, are you open to it as a recommendation? Like, what kind of stuff you're looking for? Yeah, we are currently trying to get a whole bunch of eggs. I'm doing one last attempt to get this Chestnut's evolutionary line in shiny. And as I said earlier, I started doing this as the stream started and then realized it might be a waste of time, because I'm pretty sure that Chespin and its evolutionary line are just catchable in the wild as shiny in the DLC, which is probably going to be easier because I can just shiny sandwich and do faster hunting methods. But, you know, we'll do one last batch of eggs, because otherwise I don't want to feel like my attempt to hatch shiny Chespin out of an egg has been wasted time, you know? Oh, no. Oh, I saw an annoying clickbait of a video today, and it sounded too good to be true, so it clearly had to be. It was a YouTube video that was like, shiny sparkling power sandwich in Scarlet and Violet using no ingredients. And I was like, that cannot be true. And about 3 minutes in, it's like, okay, well it needs rice and herba mystica. And I'm like, if it still needs an ingredient and herba mystica, it's not a 0 ingredient shiny sandwich, really, is it? Is it, YouTube person who stole 3 minutes of my life from me? AJ says, can't wait to get all the starters shiny in the wild. Hope they're not too difficult to get to. My understanding is there is an NPC that you'll have to do like a quest for, and they'll give you an item that will make that starter appear in the wild. I don't know, like, whether you have to do like the little quest every time you want to go find them, or it's just it adds them to the pool that's available. It seems like they're going to be relatively easy to find. Apologies, apologies that I'm still coughing away. My body is dying. I had a bad old spell of the flu a few weeks ago, and my throat's just like, nah, I'm not good yet. Mr. Purple Phoenix says, anything not on Switch really. I've had to avoid the current gen up to yet, as apart from my Switch, I've been working with a 2011 gaming rig that chugs. I think that Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2, like those set of Marvel Spider-Man games, I think they're fucking fantastic. They are linear. They're open world superhero games, but they're the least annoying. Like, they're one of the only open world series I actively want to 100% when I play them. They are a good technical showpiece of the system. I think they're just fun, really good fun open world action games. I'm trying to think what's not on Switch. What was Goodbye Volcano High on? Yeah, just on PlayStation. And PC. Goodbye Volcano High was really interesting. It is a game about a bunch of dinosaur teenagers who find out that the asteroid is coming that's going to destroy them, and about, like, how do you plan for your future when you don't know if the world is going to end tomorrow, and that feels oddly, prescient. It is a sort of choice-based adventure game, but also a music rhythm game about, like, a bunch of teens trying to start a band. That was pretty cool. I'm trying to think what is, like, specific to PlayStation that I've played that was good. If you like your Dark Souls-y type things, you're sort of like very, very hard fighty things. This year, Lies of P was fantastic. It's Pinocchio Bloodborne. It's not going to be to everyone's taste. It depends on whether you already like that sort of like Dark Souls-y kind of genre. But if you do, it's one of the best not of FromSoft ones of those that there has been. It's neat. A few of the ones I'm trying to think what I played this year, and a lot of the stuff I played on PlayStation this year was either multi-platform anyway, or was stuff I played in PSVR 2. I think of good examples. I'm racking my head for stuff I played this year that isn't on Switch as an option. Baldur's Gate 3. If you like the idea of a top-down D&D RPG, there is so much fucking game in that game. There is so much ability to do whatever the fuck you want in it. It's neat. Come on, give me eggs. Why am I getting such low egg rates tonight? Why am I getting so few eggs? Give me more eggs. Ditto and Chespin, get to fucking. Yeah, in theory, this DLC tonight I think is releasing at like 1 AM UK time. I'm keeping an eye open for it. Like, if it was, like, just a smidge sooner, I'd probably stay up and play some of it tonight on stream. I don't know whether I want to have the stream go on long enough that I can start streaming the DLC at, like, 1 AM onwards. That's fun. Baldur's Gate 3 is the biggest reason she bought it for me, specifically. I definitely give the Spider-Man and Volcano High a look. Cool, I'm glad I could give you some recommendations. Give me that. Oh. Come on. I ate the special sandwich that's meant to make more eggs happen. Make more egg. Do you want me to get Miraidon back out? Will Miraidon coming out to, like, hang out with you make more egg? Like, I thought you'd be shy, so I put Miraidon away, but maybe that. Ooh, the God of War reboot games are also a really good pick. They are very fun, like, third-person action games with a surprising amount of, like, heart and emotion to the narrative. They're very well acted. They are much more, like, quote-unquote big open world, but they were both very, very satisfying games. Come on, give me a whole batch of eggs. Okay, is it because I put Miraidon away? You wanted an audience, Chespin and Ditto. Are you a little bit kinky? You wanted Miraidon around to hang out before you'd make some eggs. Ooh, I think we've got a raid going on. Hello. Oh, hello, it's Colo. Hi. How was your stream? Hi, I'm Laura. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch. I love Pokemon. I'm a little bit obsessed with shiny hunting. I'm trying to get one of every single shiny Pokemon that it is possible to get, which are like 1 in 4,000 odds per Pokemon. There's new DLC coming out tonight/tomorrow, so we are currently collecting eggs to try and get shiny Pokemon before the DLC drops. That's what we're up to at the moment. Yes, we were just having a conversation about someone in chat is getting a PS5 for Christmas, having not owned a current-gen console before, other than the Switch, and was looking for, like, PlayStation-specific, or at least not on Switch, modern video game recommendations. So if anyone's got any recommendations of, like, good game available on PS5 that isn't on Switch that they want to recommend and, like, why, more than open to that on chat. It's lovely to see you too, Colo. What were you streaming tonight? You have a good stream? There we go. Focus on Me Play says, which starter are you excited to catch in the DLC? It's mainly the ones that I don't currently have in Shiny that I've been, like, trying to resist doing egg hatching in old games. Let me have a look at my, like, missing starters. I've got a big old document I'm scrolling through. Let's have a quick look. Chimchar, Monferno, Infernape, Piplup, Prinplup, Empoleon. So the fire and water starters for what, Gen 4? I know I need this line I'm trying to get at the moment, the Chespin line I need shiny. So I'm excited for those being available. I do need a Braxian and a Froakie shiny still. Again, that generation. Litten, Torracat, Incineroar, Poplio, Brionne, Primana, Decidueye, regular Decidueye. So, like, there's a few gens. I don't know if all the starters are coming back or if there's any that are being omitted, but those are the ones I know I need to get still. What's my favorite Pokemon, says Sun Showers? My favorite Pokemon is Mimikyu. Mimikyu just wants to be loved and is perceived as terrifying, and so makes its little Pikachu outfit to be like, hey, will you please love me? And as someone who struggled to make friends as a child, I empathize with the, I will mold myself to look like an approximation of something that you wouldn't dislike. Please don't hate me. I empathize with that very much. I want to give Mimikyu a hug at all times. Colo says, we're still streaming the process of getting used to the PlayStation Access controller. Today we rebound everything to a 2-controller setup for Skyrim. Interesting, yeah. I don't know, how close to it coming out did you get yours in the end? I think you got yours, like, a little before launch. I'm curious how you've been getting on with them. It's definitely there's a bit of a learning curve. Whether you're using a single one or using two, like, learning new muscle memory is a thing with them. Ooh. I am waiting for, I think it's being delivered tomorrow. Someone has recommended an adapter that might work for getting the Access controller working on Switch, which I couldn't get it working with any of the ones I tried, but I said I'd order one and check it for this person. So I'm excited to see if I can jerry-rig it to get it working. Oh, Zelno says, Cassette Beasts is probably one of my biggest recommendations on PlayStation for the year. It's a fun monster taming RPG that's on every major system. Even if you don't like Pokemon, it's a good RPG in its own right. I would second that recommendation. The person asked for recommendations that aren't on Switch. Cassette Beasts is on Switch, but the Switch version is really disappointing. It runs really poorly. I regret purchasing it on Switch. If you have an option to play it somewhere else, I would recommend it. And as such, if you like the idea of a knockoff not Pokemon, you do worse than picking it up on PlayStation. Colo says, super interested to hear your thoughts about using them on Switch. I don't anticipate it being a great experience to use on Switch, because it's probably going to have the same experience as trying to use it on PC at the moment, which is you'll only be able to use one of them. You'll have to rebind it in settings. You won't be able to do things like profile switching or reorienting which direction is up. Like PC, Steam assumes that you have the analog stick on the left and won't let you reorient that. I imagine a similar situation, but it's always worth trying, and it would be nice if it can be made to work. So I'm gonna try and get it going tomorrow. Come on, give me more eggs. This is the least exciting bit of shiny hunting. It's the bit where every, like, 2 minutes or so I just mash a box and go, have you eggs for me yet? Before we start running around looking for shinies. Ooh, Hero says the Yakuza games aren't on the Switch, right? No, good call. I am a big fan of the Yakuza games. And in terms of, like, a place where I would recommend getting into that series, Like a Dragon, the turn-based RPG entry in the Yakuza games, is like the introduction of a new protagonist, and like I think it is the easiest place to recommend getting into that series. It has a good English language dub. It has a lot of modern conveniences that some of the other good entry points to the series kind of don't have. I think for a lot of people, like, that's the place to get into the series, and if you enjoy it, go back to the earlier ones that are a little ropey around the edges. But the Yakuza games are a good mix of silly, serious, like, a very serious crime drama, and, like, very dramatic, emotional narrative, and now we're going go-karting and doing a business mini-game where the shareholder meetings are Pokemon battles. It's a very good, very silly series that I am a big fan of. Ooh, we got another raid coming in. Oh, heck. One sec. Sebastian TV, thank you very much for the raid. How is everyone doing tonight? Accidentally... How did I crouch? I don't remember how to uncrouch. Okay, we have eggs. That's good. Give me more eggs. There we go. Mr. Purple Phoenix says, I'll add that to the list too then. Sounds right up my alley. Cool. If you enjoy that, there is a sequel to it coming out in, like, February, I think. And, like, if you wanted to get a taste of, like, the melee combat ones in that series, there is a kind of a bridging game between the two RPGs called Like a Dragon, the Man Who Erased... Like a Dragon Gaiden, the Man Who Erased His Name. Which is like, hey, I want to know who the combat protagonist was. Like, that's, I feel like, a decent entry to that quite lengthy series. Sebastian TV says, doing great, finish the Kitakami decks before the DLC drops. How's it going? We're ready for the DLC. We're just trying to hatch eggs for a shiny Chespin, for the Chespin Chestnut, that evolutionary line, because really I have nothing else to be doing until that DLC drops, which is in like 3 hours, I think. Like, it's coming up fast. Come on, give me more eggs. I think we got like maybe 5 more minutes of the egg power sandwich before we'll run around and hatch them. And if we're not lucky, I think I'll just wait till the DLC and try and catch shiny Chespin line in the wild, assuming they're not shiny locked. And we'll spend some of the stream maybe try and find some Herba Mystica raids, and we'll do some of those for a bit. what are we shiny hunting this evening? At the moment, this thing, Chespin. It's evolutionary line. I want 3 shinies. I've been trying to hatch just 1 shiny out of an egg and having no luck. Zalno says, non-Switch titles. If you haven't played it already, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart is a good one. Ooh, that is a very good recommendation. It is a third-person shooter with a little silly, exaggerated sense of humor to it. But the big selling point is the game uses your like very fast SSD in the PS5 to do some very fancy stuff with portals and loading you between environments very quickly in a way that feels very next gen. That game has a really, really good selection of accessibility settings, ranging from high contrast mode to a lot of mobility-focused gameplay assists, a lot of ways to tweak things like levels of aim assist and stuff. But it's just a very charming game that, like, it is one of the things that feels most next gen that I've played on PS5 since it came out. Also, if you don't know, the PS5 comes with a little piece of pack-in software, Astro's Playroom, which is a third-person platforming exploration game that is very, very, very much about like showing you all the fancy things the controller wants to do. Come on, more eggs. Okay, I need to exit the picnic so I can find out how... Okay, yeah, I've got 5 more minutes. Okay. I don't know how many eggs we've had. We've not had great luck with eggs on this batch, but it's fine. I don't want to roast Chespin on open fire, even if it's going to get my eggs to hatch faster. It's Chespin, not chestnut. No. Okay. Try to get the Pokemon to get out of the way of the basket I'm supposed to be collecting from. What time do, Video Games Gamer Stuff in the YouTube chat says, what time does the second DLC come out? It hasn't been officially announced. People are assuming based on the time that these usually drop. It's probably going to be in about 3 hours and 10 minutes. 1 a.m. UK. That is not officially confirmed. That is based on when the Pokemon Home downtime is happening and past experience. Yeah. This is the problem. I have to, in order to recommend good PlayStation games that are worth playing, I have to remember what I've played on PlayStation, and that requires me to have memory that isn't about, like, the list of games I was writing about today. Let me just look up a list of best PS5 games to jog my memory of things that are cool. What has, like, high Metacritic scores that'll jog my memory a bit? Oh, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Oh. Let's see. Anything on this list jumping out to me? Not really. I do... Hero says, would you recommend Final Fantasy VII Remake to someone who hasn't played Final Fantasy VII? So, knowing that there are still multiple parts of that remake that haven't come out, and I don't know what could happen, in isolation, I think that it is a very good place to jump into Final Fantasy VII, with the caveat, and mild spoilers. I think we're far enough away from that game for me to say... It seems like it's going to differ a little from the plot of the original Final Fantasy VII, and we don't know to what extent yet. I think it is a very good introduction that largely, like, Part 1 largely does follow the plot of Final Fantasy VII, the original game, and if it is going to vary wildly, that is not something that is going to immediately, with that first game, cause any confusion. I can't speak about future entries. Have a good rest of your evening, Colo. Okay, there we go. Zalno says, this is probably going to be the longest 3 hours I'll have experienced in a while. Right now I'm killing time in my personal hell by getting all of the ribbons for all of my favourite Pokemon. That is a particular use of time that I have not sunk myself into in Pokemon yet. The BT says, Final Fantasy VII Remake has things in the story that make sense with pre-existing knowledge, but it doesn't impact the game. Yes. And again, it might be that the later parts of the remake completely become indecipherable and something where it's like, oh, you need to have played the past ones to understand what they're changing and why and what that means. Maybe that will later be the case, but part 1 by itself is a good standalone, this is a good adventure. If you don't know about the rest of it, you can play it as a standalone thing, I feel like. Yeah, Zalno, ribbon. I watched a video about someone trying to get every single possible ribbon, or as many possible ribbons as possible, on their favourite singular Pokemon. And that video made me never want to interact with ribbons. Mr. Purple Phoenix says, I was wondering about Final Fantasy VII Remake. The thing that puts me off, though, and this is definitely an ADHD thing, is that it's not complete yet. I can't see myself playing any of the remakes until they're all out because my brain won't like the wait. Totally fair, totally understandable. I would suggest that this does a better job. It does a good job of not feeling incomplete. It does a good job of finishing at a natural conclusion where if you didn't know there was more coming, this would feel like the end of a game. But you do know that there is more coming, and I understand if that is a thought you can't easily put out of your mind, if that makes sense. Okay. We are nearly done with that egg sandwich. I should have set like a proper timer so I could see it on screen. Let me check my sandwich timers while I'm in the picnic, please. Are we done? My sense of time is gone tonight. 20 seconds. Okay, I think we can leave it there. So, where... Did I put the eggs in the correct box this time? I did. Cool. We're going to hatch a batch of eggs. And then probably going to do some raids to try and get Herba Mystica ready for shiny hunting in the DLC. As I say, I don't know if I'm going to stay up and play any of the DLC tonight, or if I just get up early tomorrow morning and do like a big daytime stream in the UK, but we'll see. I'm just going to go for a little bike ride. And we'll hang out and chat while these eggs hatch. I have heard some positive things about the DLC. I'm looking forward to it. I have heard there is a good number of like high-level double battles trainers, using relatively well-designed teams in terms of like actually doing the kinds of things you should be doing in competitive double battles. Like, here is a Pokemon using a strategy that is focused on, like, actually having a setup Pokemon and a sweeper. I mean, I definitely will be streaming during the daytime tomorrow. It's whether I do both. Whether I ignore my health a little bit and do both. Which I know is not good for me, but Pokemon. I hope you understand. Yeah, I'm just gonna sail around and hope I spot some random shinies on my way. There we go. Yes, I think I have everything shiny in Scarlet and Violet that I could possibly have shiny that doesn't require me to hatch eggs of something that's not really catchable in game. Like, you know, there's starters like the Chespin line that I'm still trying to do, but anything catchable in the overworld, I think I have them all shiny now, which is nice. Curiosity, which is a great name, says, I like the motorcycle Pokemon. I'm not super familiar with Pokemon, but it's a cute little friend. Yeah, it's just a robot motorcycle dragon that you feed it a sandwich like 10 minutes into the game, and it's like, you gave me food, you're my best friend now. And adventure time. Very excited to see how the Synchro machine works. It seems like it's Game Freak's first attempt at something approaching an action RPG system by letting you take control of the Pokemon directly. Yeah, I saw that you can, like, directly control the Pokemon, and I'm curious, like, you just move around as them and see what it's like to move around as them, or can you actually do, like, battles and things in that mode? I have questions. I'm intrigued. Pokemon Colosseum had some of those. Interesting double battles with full strategy trainers. Not much that since then that I can think of. Yeah. Yeah, you'll know when you're done with the DLC. There is a battle that I think you have to take one specific Pokemon into. You have to have them with you for that battle. And I think that is the last battle you have to do before you're ready for DLC 2. Let me find a shiny Chespin to show off for a second. So we can have a reference image. But yes, it'll be sort of brown on the hood rather than green. Yeah, it should be dark brown on the little sort of hoodie, and the nose should be yellow. It'll be fairly obvious that it's gonna look a lot more autumnal if we can find a shiny one. We got what, one more egg. I should have counted. I don't know how many of these we have to try and hatch today. Five, 6. 8, 9, 10. 16. 22. 28. 34. 40, 46, 47, 48, 50, 51. Like a 1 in 10 chance-ish of a shiny in here. There's about 1 in 500 shiny odds. And about 50 eggs. So about a 10th. We've done about a 10th of the rolls, in theory, on paper, that we would need. Hera says, it's always a pleasure to see you hyperfixating on Pokemon. It's been a while, but I'm glad to have more Pokemon to obsess over, and honestly I'm glad for the timing of this release because it means I can do a bunch of shiny hunting over the festive period while I'm just taking some time off work, and I don't feel the need to do it for work on stream, which would be nice. Let's go. Yeah, it's nice timing because I can afford to obsess over a little bit because a lot of my end of year work will be out of the way, which is really what I needed. Just get the end of year work out the way so that I can play a bunch of Pokemon and not think about how much time I'm using doing so. Mercury Bullet, thank you for the luck on finding the shiny Chespin. Oh. Unintended interaction. I should have a look how many Herba Mystica I have. How much do I need to be doing Herba Mystica raids tonight? It's in sandwich ingredients, which are in here. Okay, we have 13, 23, 33, 38. Oh. Just a sec. 23, 33, 38, 46, 56, which is in theory enough for 28 shiny hunts, which is not bad, but that's 28 assuming that these Herba Mystica were the correct ones for the shiny hunts I wanted to do. Oh, the BT! That is super awesome to hear. The BT in the Twitch chat said, I had to do my end of year rankings for a wrestling channel I do stuff for. I may have put Steph as my match of the year. That's super cool. I realised I should reiterate for anyone in the YouTube chat so that I'm not referring to a thing that no one can see. I need to stop bumping into these things. Yeah, I need to get out of the short grass. These nimbles are gonna really slow down my hatching. Let me get myself onto a big path. Oh, that's a fanfy. I saw red in the grass. I was like, that's not usually a color in the grass. Are you a shiny? No, you're fine. Trying to do my very quick glances at Pokemon on the off chance there is a shiny. Bring back the little sparkle animation and the sound effect when a shiny happens to spawn within sight of you. That was wonderful. It was super helpful. It was an accessibility feature. Bring it back, Pokemon Company. Yeah, I did put more eggs in my party. It's fine. I second-guessed myself because we'd gone quite a ways and it hadn't popped. None of them had popped. Ooh, BT, that's super cool. Ellen, I've hung out with Ellen a few times. She's absolutely lovely. Oh, E3 has died this week. That is the thing that happened. And I was thinking about, like, do I have any positive memories out of E3? I'm pretty sure E3 was the first time I met Ellen. I went for breakfast the morning of one day of E3 with Hannah Lamardia, formerly Yogscast Hannah. We went for breakfast one morning before E3. And she happened to be friends with Ellen and was like, do you mind if I invite another friend along for breakfast? We had a lovely time. And I'm pretty sure I think that was the first time we met. A lovely time. We were both very sleep deprived. Well, yes, as Akai in the Twitch chat says, E3 died a long time ago, its corpse just carried on walking for a while. The opening of Podquisition this week is us going on for a while about this very specific thing of, you know, E3's been on life support and finally someone pulled the plug. It's, the prognosis has not been good, but you know, the hope was that, you know, maybe they will still wake up and it's come apparent. I ain't gonna keep trying. E3 is, like, it's a shameless marketing event, but as someone that grew up, like, as someone who grew up in largely a pre-internet era of learning about video games, from, like, I remember finding out that E3 existed because I bought a Nintendo magazine that had, oh, one sec. I remember buying a Nintendo magazine that came with a DVD of, like, highlight clips from that year's E3. And it was the year that Twilight Princess was first shown off, and it was that blades will bleed, shields will shatter trailer with, like, the room full of people in the press conference, like, standing up and screaming and losing their minds at this sort of darker looking Zelda. And that I remember viscerally having a moment where it clicked in my brain. The people in that room are there to find out about Zelda and, like, write about it or whatever. They knew about this weeks ago before I did. There are people whose job is to go and find out about Zelda before anyone else by going to a place called E3, where all of the new games are before they're in the rest of the world. And that made going to my first E3 for work like a weirdly magical experience, in as much as it was a thing in my... It built up as a thing in my head in a way that, like, I think only really existed because of, like, the power that the pre-internet era had of, like, consolidating gaming news to this one thing. Yeah, this is when it was announced as a GameCube game. Like, this was, I think, like, at least a year or two before the Revolution, the Nintendo Revolution was announced. Yeah, Echo says, back when games were just fun things because we were too little to know about how gross the industry is. Yeah. Like, for me, it was like 2004 to 2007 was the period of time where I started, like, really following games critique and realizing, like, this is a job people do. Yeah, Zalno says, I remember my first memory of E3 being Nintendo showing off the Nintendo DS prototype. The show felt more magical than it actually was. Yeah, it was very specifically like, I remember in June, there was a few years, probably like 2004 through 2007, where every year I picked up the annual edition of the magazine that had the DVD, and I'd be like, tell me about like the next year of cool Nintendo stuff. And just like sitting in my bedroom, watching a little DVD and like watching someone in 360p explain like, this is the Nintendo Revolution. It's going to have it's going to support playing games from all of the past consoles digitally in a special thing called the Virtual Console. Duh! Yeah, there was a specific era of E3 where E3 was. It really was the place. And again, this is before like you had like Nintendo Directs and like 3 or 4 times a year a blast of news information. It was like June was when you found out what the next year of games were. Like the entire year was summed up in like, here's an hour. Hold on to that for a year. The one I went maybe 1 or 2 years to E3, and I know the first year I went to E3 was the year that Breath of the Wild got properly debuted. It was the one where we got that really good story cinematic trailer, and then they did like 5 or 6 hours of Nintendo Treehouse live streams, just hanging out on the Great Plateau. If you remember that E3, it was like, we don't have a press conference this year, we have a Zelda trailer, and we have hours of Great Plateau. And I was at that E3, and I remember seeing that trailer and going, I need to get through those doors when they open, and run straight for that booth. That is, like, if I experience nothing else today, it's going to be that. And I remember getting to play... Breath of the Wild maybe an hour and a half after that story trailer was shown. And that was pretty magical. There was something very strange about, like, the big exciting trailer, it's real, the game is coming, get hype. And then 90 minutes later, I'm playing it, and it is the thing that I just saw. Zalno says, funnily enough, the first time I actually watched an E3 presentation was in 2008. It was that Nintendo presentation. I kept asking myself, okay, but where are the games I'm interested in? Yeah, E3 was a weird time. Yes, I believe it was the History of Hyrule is the History of Calamity Ganon trailer. It was the first one where we heard voice acting, where we got, like, Zelda going, Link, wake up. Yeah, because, like, look, any problems E3 has, it's hard to erase the magic that is seeing a cool game get announced and going, you can just, like, go into that room over there, and by the end of today, you might have played it. It's also very strange to go in, like, to go to events like that in console launch years, where you're like, this is hardware I won't play for like a year, and now it's in my hands. Like, the closest I had this generation, I think, was getting myself into the Nintendo Switch hands-on event that took place in, like, the January of its launch year, so, like, 2 months before release. It was the day after they announced the price and stuff, and showed off, like, 1-2 Switch and stuff like that. I managed to sneak my way into an event in London and go hands-on with it, and just that was pretty wild. Actually, 2016 doesn't make sense because I remember CoxCon that year you were in recovery. When was CoxCon in the year? Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. I know it was definitely the year with the Treehouse Live, because the queue went past them playing it on Treehouse Live. Which would have been... Yeah, what year was this? 6 years ago.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Nintendo.
No, that was with Nintendo Switch. It was the Wii U. Yeah, so that was 2016. Yeah, oh yeah, and the BT's, yeah, okay, so if Coxcon was in August, E3 was in June, I came back, had lower surgery, went to Coxcon during recovery. So yeah, that was all the same year. But yes, it was definitely 2016 that I went, because it was, like, I remember queuing around, like, walking past the Nintendo Treehouse presentation to go play Breath of the Wild on Wii U. Yeah, the fact I was at Coxcon in 2016 doesn't disqualify the fact that 2 months earlier I was at E3. Prez Rickard says, I think I discovered E3 around 2003 or 4 whenever G4 started covering it. Yeah, what year was that? Twilight Princess E3. Princess. Oh no, I'm playing myself in my ears. Twilight Princess E3 reveal. 2005. Okay, 2005 would have been the first year I was like aware E3 existed. Because I remember going from that to, like... Oh no, Sunken. I thought that was a shiny Flittle for a second. Yeah, because I remember a few years after that when the Nintendo Wii came out, my first time, like, really being aware of, like, video game reviewers and podcasters being, like, a job was listening to IGN's Week-in Review podcast. It was a Nintendo Wii-focused podcast that was weekly. The name worked better written down than it did said out loud. Okay, one more egg. With Matt Casamassina and Matt Bozon? Matt Bozon, I think, followed me on Twitter not that long ago, and that was really surreal. Listening to the people who, like, when I was 16 and was listening to people talk about video games, and I was like, I would like to do that for a job someday. Then following me on social media was a very weird, surreal experience. Ooh, congrats. The BT, I finally have my second GRC appointment on Tuesday. Congrats. I hope it goes well. Oh, we're getting through these egg hatchings. I need to keep an eye on social media in case this DLC drops earlier than people expect it to. I need to keep an eye on somewhere to be like, is it out? I don't think it's gonna be out earlier than 1 AM, but you never know with these things. The Switch isn't great at going, there is an update available for the game that you are currently actively playing. Would you like to save and close the game and grab that update? Who needs Rocket League? We've got Rocket League at home. The BT, I honestly have no idea for the choice of time. It is when they usually do the update. It coincides with when the home maintenance is happening, and lines up with when they usually do it. I don't know if there's a specific thinking to it. The timing is best. It works out best for people in America, because if you're in America, it's what, like 8 p.m. Or potentially even earlier, like maybe even like 5 p.m. on the day before that it's releasing, which is enough time to play a bunch of it on launch day. Whereas like Japan, you've probably started school or work, and Europe, you're probably asleep. Oh, hey, oldie Badger. Badger says, hey Laura, I made a figgy pudding yesterday, steamed it for 8-ish hours, now it's sitting in the fridge. I was going to do the traditional 5 weeks of sitting, but stuff kept happening. Here's the secret. I've never been able to tell the difference when one's been sat for 5 weeks versus done like 2 days before. I think most people who... I don't believe most people are going to notice. I think you'll be fine. Let's do one more. Let's go. Yeah, let's pull up social media so I can keep an eye out for... Oh shit, Pokemon out. Let me pull up the trending page for this. Yeah, let me pull up a thing of people talking about the DLC, because that's probably where I'm going to first notice people going, it's out now, go, go, go. Mr. Purple Phoenix says, I'm getting absolutely wrecked by Ogerpon right now. Oh, Ogerpon. Ogerpon is a genuinely fascinating new Pokemon from mechanical perspectives, but also competitively, it's busted. It is a weirdly good competitive Pokemon. Tried a little bit that's stuck to the pot, very unique flavor. Hooray! Unique is good. I don't usually like mince pies, which is a very traditional festive Christmassy thing here in the UK. A friend brought some round the other day from a very fancy shop called Waitrose. I will not be shopping there to purchase them, but they were flapjack mince pies, and they were like a pastry outside, a very thin layer of like the minced fruit stuff, very thin layer of that just for flavor, and then flapjack on top that was like flavored and spiced to be, similar flavor to the usual mince pie filling, but not with all the texture. And that was like a manageable amount of mince pie filling for me. I was like, you have somehow found the mince pie I will eat. It's the first time I have found a mince pie manageable in a very long time. I felt proper festive. Yes, I had a little festive hangout with a couple of friends, and we watched some bad horror films together. It was a pretty enjoyable evening. It was the kind of evening where like the first film of the night got suggested, and it's like, should we have a drink now before this one starts? Because this one, these are gonna be weird. We may have watched The Evil Bong 2, part of a multi-film series of horror films about an evil bong, alongside a horror movie called The Scrotum, about a pair of testicles that get infected with radioactive ooze and go on a killing spree. Slaughterhouse, a sloth horror film. Sloth the nice cute sloth is doing the murders. And maybe the best one that I watched of the things was Willy's Wonderland, which is the knockoff Five Nights at Freddy's starring Nicolas Cage. There's a thing about Willy's Wonderland I didn't know before watching it, which is Nicolas Cage does not say a singular word in that entire movie. He is silent start to finish of that film, and I don't know any actor that could have pulled that off as hilariously as he did. I think it is very much a testament to Nicolas Cage's acting quality that he could carry. No, I don't know if Jack Black could like, I don't think I could believe a Jack Black character that was silent for 90 minutes and never said a word. Nicolas Cage manages to pull off the stoicism, but play it for laughs in a way that, like, you have to play it so seriously and let everything around you be the joke in a way that I don't know if you see a Jack Black do. Like, he can do some non-verbal expressions in isolation that are amusing, but I don't think I could watch a 90-minute Jack Black that doesn't say a word film. Because I'll give you the vibe of Nicolas Cage in this film. It is, hey, your car is broken down, we'll fix it if you look after the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic restaurant for a night. You gotta clean up and remember to take regular breaks. So he, you know, to give you an example of roughly how a scene might go, he is cleaning a bathroom. Does a good job cleaning it. Animatronic comes in. He absolutely beats the animatronic to death. Stops midway through beating it to death to go take his break because his phone went off and he's supposed to take a break now and also play some pinball while this animatronic is trying to, like, drag itself towards him to get him, and he's like, no, give me a minute, I'm having my break. His break ends, finishes beating up the robot, and then goes back to the bathroom, quite frustrated that I just cleaned that urinal, I'm gonna have to clean it again. All portrayed with, like, there is comedy, there is humor to it, all portrayed without a word. Like, a lot of stuff like that where I'm like, I can see how, credit to writing a script that Nicolas Cage could make work without words. It is genuinely well worth watching. If you don't mind a bit of CGI in a couple of places where it's like, I wish that was a practical effect. Oh yeah, I got my chest pins hatched. Yeah, it's... If you want to see a Five Nights at Freddy's that is better than Five Nights at Freddy's and doesn't put money in the pocket of a homophobic, anti-abortion right-winger, Willy's Wonderland is what you watch. That's where you scratch that itch without putting money in Scott Cawthorne's pockets. Okay. Keeping an eye open for posts about the DLC. Okay, no one's posted about the DLC yet. Okay, yeah, that's good. Akai13 says, I wish I liked Nicolas Cage. Not a fan for most films. I've enjoyed a couple of Nicolas Cage films recently, and, like, he's certainly not for everyone, but, I recently saw a Nicolas Cage film called Dream Scenario, where Nicolas Cage plays the most bland, boring man on Earth, who for some reason starts popping up in people's dreams, initially in a very banal way. He's just kind of stood there while your dream happens, and he tries to turn this into a way to make himself famous, and then the dreams start getting horrible and nightmarish, and he no longer wishes to be associated as the guy that's in your dreams, but it's a bit too late for that. He's kind of committed to it now. It was a very good film that is, like, not going to be for everyone. Nicolas Cage has been in some good roles I've enjoyed recently that are, like, weird experimental artsy shit. Films that are, like, not going to be for everyone, but I couldn't imagine anyone else doing the role that he got cast in. Oh yeah, it's Twitch chat is talking about the fact there's been talking about the controversy, quote unquote, from right wingers about, you know, GTA 6 has a woman of color in it doing crimes, and yeah, it's been a while since the old conservative, like, right wing hate machine came for Grand Theft Auto. It's been long enough that, like, I forgot that was a thing that might happen. And seeing, like, Elon Musk go, ooh, I tried to play Grand Theft Auto, but the first mission made me shoot a police officer, and I just couldn't enjoy it after that. I'm like, GTA seems like exactly the kind of thing you'd fucking love. The press record, I haven't seen The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, but I've heard positive things. I've heard mixed things about its latter portion. But it's one of those films where I'm like, I'm willing to give it a go even if it doesn't stick the landing. I'm on a bit of a recent Nicolas Cage film kick at the moment, and I'm willing to give a try something weird and artsy that Nick Cage was in. Cara May says, Chespin, I love Chespin. Well, we're looking for a shiny one. Hopefully we'll find one while you're about. The BT says, isn't that film not sticking the landing apt for a film with that name? Yeah, I suppose a film called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, failing to stick the landing under the unbearable weight of massive talent. Maybe not the most unfitting thing in the world. Also, hi, Tad, how are you? I've hatched across the various batches of these that I've done. I think I'm up to about 1,200 eggs and no successful shiny hatches. This is just how it goes sometimes. For every time that you hatch like 3 eggs and get a shiny, sometimes you're gonna hatch like, you know, 3 times over the odds number of eggs before you get a shiny. It's not cumulative odds. Hatching a non-shiny doesn't get you any closer to hatching a shiny. That's not a non-shiny, like, crossed off the list. Oh, we've got like half, and we've got like 2/3 of a box still to check after this. I keep forgetting after my eggs finish hatching that I need to swap new ones in. I need to remember to routinely do the swaps. Yeah, we've got 19 more after this. Akai says, I hatched a shiny Score Bunny in Sword and Shield and I can't find it. Oh, that sucks. I think you can use Pokemon Home to look through your, like, Pokemon Sword and Shield save data. And Home, if you use Home to go through your Sword and Shield boxes, I think it has search functionality where you can, like, sort by shininess, which might be a way to try and find it. If you can't find it, I can look if I have a spare. I might have a spare shiny Score Bunny, which, if I do, I'm happy to send it to you, because, you know, I'm happy to help if I can. If having a traded one would help lessen the sting a bit. I will need to check if I definitely do have spares before I commit to that. Zalno says, I ended up catching a shiny Poochyena and Luxio and Kitakami a while back. Both of them are female. I've decided to use them in my Indigo Disc team named Betty White and B. Arthur. Aww. Yeah, that was random. That was a wild battle. It wasn't the egg hatching. The ADHD is really wrecking my focus today. I am not quite on it today. I'm excited by the prospect that, that there will be some coming back to the main game map as part of the DLC. Because as I understand it, a lot of the returning legendaries, you unlock them in the DLC and then they will appear in places in the main game map rather than the DLC map. And that'll be nice. It'll be nice to have an excuse to go hunting around the main game map again for those things. Yoldi Badger says, my favourite shiny breeding event happened when I was going for shiny Houndoom. 5 eggs, 2 were shiny, one right after the other, both female, so shiny Houndoom twins. That's adorable. Akai says, I was grinding Dynamax Adventures, but they're kind of slow. Got 3 shiny legends, though. Tappalele, Latios, and some others. I still have some of the, Ultra Beasts I need to shiny hunt. I don't know whether they're available in this DLC, along with, like, the legendaries or not. I'm still doing a soft reset shiny hunt that I've been doing for forever for shiny Blacephalon, which is a really annoying one because there's, like, a cutscene right before it that, like, really slows it down. It's a whole thing. I was trying to get a, what was it, a White Null shiny that I was trying to get at the same time. Okay, come on. The BT asks if the specific focus on the Gen 5 box legendaries in the trailer was a big tease. I don't know about that specifically, but I feel like a lot of stuff recently has... There's been a lot of stuff that has pointed at Gen 5, and I think most people are expecting something Gen 5 coming, be it a remake or like an Arceus game set in that region or something, like something Gen 5 is coming. Blacephalon is an awesome shiny, but it was eating my life, and I just... It was another one that I was like thousands of resets into and getting nowhere, and I was like, I just need to come back to this in another lifetime. Right. Done too much work this week. I'm too sleepy. I shouldn't have to do this much work on a week where there's Pokemon happening. I should be allowed to just be sat here being hyped about Pokemon. That is my right. As an autistic person, I have the right to take the week off and do nothing but play Pokemon. I think that should be a legally protected right that I should have. I will be petitioning for that right to be recognized by the law. Oh, I need to like actually give myself like a team to use for the Indigo disc for the end of the stream. Terra says making Laura work during Pokemon time is ableist. Thank you. I'm glad you agree and understand. This is a policy I will be getting enacted as soon as I can. The BT says I would complain to your boss. I don't know. My boss is you know, pretty obsessed with me getting work done. You know, isn't gonna like the idea of me taking time off when I have deadlines coming. You know, I think they're gonna be hard to convince, which is a shame because I wish they would give me permission. But like, you know, I think they're gonna it's gonna be hard pressed to talk them into it. Oh, please give me train Pokemon. Give me a set of Pokemon that are trains. Charjabug is, I think, the closest we have to a Pokemon that you could look at and go, oh, yeah, I could see that being a train. Yeah, we do have eggs right now. Okay. Yeah, it surprises me that we haven't had a train Pokemon yet. Yeah, Carcoal is kind of like a train carriage. Okay. We're getting a railway bridge, I suppose. Yeah, with that new form of, not Duraludon. The metal. Yeah, I think it is Duraludon. Okay, so we've got the train bridge and like 2 train carriages. What else can we put in a team of 6 kind of train related Pokemon? What about Pokemon that lives in trains? Imagine 3 train Pokemon, the engine, the caboose, and the regular cars that get stronger if all 3 are in the party. I would love that so much. Archaludon evolution of Duraludon, that's the one. Okay, yeah, we have like regional Phalanx. Honestly, I think if we were ever going to get a train Pokemon, it would be a regional form of Phalanx. Are there gears in trains? I suppose there are. Okay, we could have like a Kling Clang. Is that what the gear Pokemon's called? We could, oh, the regional Phalanx could be Rail Links. A Phalanx would become Rail Links. Oh, I want one now. Okay, so we've got the train bridge, a cog, 2 kinds of train car. We need like 2 more things to make this train Pokemon out of. I mean, we could put like Revavroom at the front, and that's like the engine. That's like the carriage at the front of the train. Yeah, Zalno's just suggested an evolution for Revavroom that has it be a train. You could have like a regional, but I think for now, like we could put a Revavroom at the front of the party, and that's like the front of the train. Gigantamax Garbodor had to train on it. Yeah, but it wasn't a train itself. I need to be controlling the train, not just a thing with a train stuck into it. That's it's a distinction. Well, I'm up to 5 now. Just 1 more, and I think we could argue we have a team of train-themed Pokemon. Ooh, the one wheezing with the smokestacks. Maybe. So we go, like, the train bridge Pokemon at the front, because it's about to cross the bridge. The Revavroom as the engine. The smokestack Galarian wheezing as, like, the smoke bit. And then you do, like, Charjabug, Kling Clang, and what was the other one? Carkol. We put no, you put Carkol. So you do the train bridge, Revavroom, Galarian wheezing. Then you put Carkol because that's where the coal going in the smokestack is. Kling Clang because that's the gears being turned by like the steam engine. And then Charjabug, which is the passenger car at the back. That's a team. I feel like that works. Thank you, everyone, for your assistance. I think we've made a compelling argument for a workable train team. Oh, I'd love a Rotom form that was a train. Come on, DLC, when you drop tonight, please give me a Pokemon that somehow didn't leak in any kind of leaks that is a train. Like, that's not so much to ask for, is it? Game Freak, like, you've still got probably 2 hours before the DLC launches. You could, like, throw together a train Pokemon and, like, add it to the update real quick, right? Oh, Echo, that team would perform terribly competitively. There is 0 balance or, like, you know, thoughtful team composition. But I kind of want to play with it anyway. Pokemon cosplay competitions, yes. You gotta build your team to be a cosplay. You build a Pokemon team and someone has to go, I know what they're cosplaying as. That's adorable. Okay, yeah, we haven't hatched those yet. Keep an eye on posting. Not yet. Okay. I am really interested in that synchro machine idea where you get to play as the Pokemon. I really hope we get to, like, do something other than walk around as them. And I hope it's, like, not just a random Pokemon. I hope it's our actual one, so, like, I can run around as my shiny or something. Gelatinous Biscuit in the YouTube chat says, do you play the TCG, Laura? Haven't been into the games as much, but getting into the TCG is fun. I enjoy the TCG. I don't play it often, but occasionally the Pokemon Company will send me decks or sets of booster cards. One year they sent me like a big advent calendar with a booster pack behind every door. So I have cards from the TCG, and me and my lovely wife Jane will sometimes sit and play some Pokemon. The Pokemon Company sent me one of those boxes of, like, here's a bunch of stuff from, like, the original 151 re-release that are, like, power crept, which is interesting. But we usually just, like, grab structure decks of, like, a similar era, and we'll just play with pre-constructed structure decks because we know they're about the same power level and sit and play Pokemon. I like the Pokemon TCG a lot. I think it is interesting. From what I understand, it's one of the few TCGs that, like, has remained relatively, like, affordable for competitive decks. Like, I believe the World Championship winning deck, most recently, the deck list cost, like, maybe 65 quid to put together the deck that won the World Championships, which is, like, nice to see in a TCG. The Pokemon Company did say you can battle Pokemon while using the Synchro Machine. They didn't go into specifics. Yeah, I'm curious whether it's just a regular turn-based battle or if you can, like, do something a bit more real-time. The BT, sure, feel free to recommend a TCG content creator. Yeah, we'll see if I get the shiny. We'll see. I'm not holding out hope at this point. We've got 11 eggs left, so chances are getting slimmer, but you never know. Yeah, the TCG like, the Pokemon has one of the nicest, like, competitive TCG communities I've experienced. There was a year, I feel like it was 2018, maybe? 2018? Where I got to go to both the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships and the Pokemon World Championships that were both happening in Germany that year, at the same convention center, just like a month or so apart. And the Pokemon World Championships, the community was absolutely so lovely and welcoming to someone who, like, knew the game in theory but hadn't played in a long time. Absolutely welcoming crowd. Pumpkin Amy is great. She does TCG including tournaments and painting. Nice. Yeah, like, I follow the community around a lot of TCGs, even if I don't, like, actively play them competitively. Fun story I occasionally tell. Once upon a time, I was a tournament-ranked Yu-Gi-Oh! Player very briefly. I did very, very well. I did well enough at Nationals to be ranked, but not well enough to go onto Worlds in Yu-Gi-Oh! One year, which was a cool, brief thing. But I know I am a naturally compulsive person, and it's really easy for me to, you know, overspend on randomized packets such as loot boxes, fucking booster packs, Freudian slip there. So I don't really let myself get into, like, deeply into it, but I do enjoy, like, keeping up with what TCG communities are up to. Like, I watch a lot of videos by MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a few different creators and a few different TCGs I follow to be like, yeah, what are Pokemon Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Up to? Gelatinous Biscuit says, wish I could get into Yu-Gi-Oh! But the card text is too tiny for my ocular albinism eyes. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a real text, too much tiny text on cards problem. I'm trying to think if any of the digital versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! Allow you to scale text size in a way that might be viable, but yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the worst for we are fitting an entire essay of tiny text into a space really not designed for it. What are your planned teams for the Indigo disc? I honestly don't know. I might just use the team that I was using in competitive the last time I was trying to climb the ladder in online matchmaking, which is like a bit out of date. This was like honestly like February last year that I last like put together like a team trying to be competitive. I ran a Tatsugiri and what's the big whale? The big whale and the sushi thing that combined together, but I had toxic like a toxic orb on the Tatsugiri. So you attack the Tatsugiri with something that isn't going to kill it, like false swipes. Let it get swallowed by the big whale. Let the poison kill it while it's in the whale's mouth. The whale keeps the ridiculous stat boost, but you're not prevented from having something in your second slot anymore. You send Flamigo into the second slot so that both the big whale and Flamigo now have matching huge stat boosts, and then you just like try and sweep with the two of them. Dondozo, that's the one. Yeah, Tatsugiri, Dondozo, Flamigo was like a trio that I ran for a while, because it's just... If you can get the Tatsugiri to die while inside the Dondozo, so that you open up the slot so that Flamigo can come out and take advantage of the big stat boost on the Dondozo, you can end up with like a real fast sweeper setup. Which I might just grab those out of rotation as a fun, like, fuck around, see how the enemy, like how the NPC AI handles that, whether it deals with it well. Good night, the BT. It's either that or I might do like what I did for I might honestly do what I did for the Teal Mask DLC, which is try and make a team, no matter how bad and not balanced it is, entirely of new stuff from the new DLC. So try and find like try and have as much as possible stuff that wasn't previously available in the game prior to the DLC be my team. That is typically how I like to do DLC. I'm just going in with my like big competitive team of Pokemon designed for raids. Like, I'm not gonna throw my my Shell Bell Belly Drum Azumarill level 100 shiny into my team necessarily, because like then I'm just gonna steamroll the DLC, and that's, you know, I only get one chance to play it for the first time. Why would I rush through it? Hey, London Cheesehead, how are you? How many have we got left now? It's gonna be... Okay, we're down to 7. Seven last remaining eggs for a shiny. And if not, we've got like an hour to try and get some... Herba Mystica sandwiches. Oh, Gelatinous Biscuit, no need to apologize. You don't need to say hi first. Feel free to just jump in chat and word vomit. It's all good. No stressing about like formal rules of etiquette here. We're all chill. Come on, anyone got the DLC yet? Anyone suggesting that the DLC is up? Okay. You're not a shiny color scheme, are you? You're a regular. You're a regular one of you. Ooh, I should look for mass outbreaks to see if there's a dusk form Lycanroc outbreak that I can shiny hunt. I think I still need a shiny dusk form Lycanroc. Yeah, shiny is blue. I was looking at it going, it's been a while since I've done this hunt. What do you look like again? Yeah, you know what, actually? Let's have a look at what's on the map. What are the... We want to zoom further into... Oh, no, I can't see them. Okay, so we've got Vigoroth, Palafin, the haunted dog, the fighting horse. Not a great set, but we haven't saved. So if there's no shinies in this batch, we could just reset the save and look for a new batch of shiny, new batch of of mass outbreaks and see if there's a good one. Okay, here we go. Come on, give me the shiny or the DLC. One of the two of them. I deserve them. Is Mass Outbreak for Lycanroc Dusk even possible? Yes. So since the Teal Mask DLC released, you can find Mass Outbreaks for specific forms of a Pokemon. That is how I got my shiny, what's it called? Antique, the special, the one with the special mark. My Sinistchar and Polchargeist, the T-themed Pokemon in the Teal Mask. The way I got them both in shiny with the 1 in 100 mark is I found a Mass Outbreak of them with the special mark and shiny hunted within that Mass Outbreak, rather than trying to shiny hunt the regular way and hope that the shiny I found was also a 1 in 100 special mark. So yeah, you can shiny hunt specific forms. You find a Mass Outbreak for that form, and then you shiny hunt within it. Oh, this animation does not want to work in this forest. Yeah, I saw some people got shiny Polchargeist from a raid. Super lucky. Right, up we get. Because there's too much slowdown when I... Oh no, that was a Horlucha in the middle of the pack. I saw a different colour in amongst the Noibats and thought shiny. I still need to get back to 999 Gimmighoul coins so I can evolve one of my shiny Gimmighouls into a shiny Goldengo again. I have my 3 shiny Gimmighouls so I can have a shiny Goldengo. It's just getting around to... I sold all of the coins because I didn't think I needed them anymore, and then realised I needed them again and was like, oh no. That's on me. Okay, 3 remaining eggs. Last chance. All 3 shinies I need are in these last 3 eggs. We're going to get 3 shinies back to back. You'll see. You'll all see. Yes, I hope there's not too much in the way of version exclusives in this second DLC wave, because I loaned my copy of Scarlet to a friend who recently got a Switch and for the first time, and I was like, here's a bunch of physical games that I don't need to be playing anytime soon, so you've got some stuff to like play while you build up your own library. Because in my head, I thought I had both Scarlet and Violet digital as well as physical. I have Scarlet, I have Violet digital and physical. Scarlet I just had physical and didn't remember, so I went to boot up Scarlet tonight and was like, maybe I'll play through the DLC on Scarlet, so I'm ready. And no, I don't have Scarlet here, so I'm going to have to just hope for the short term that there aren't too many version exclusives. Are physical or slash digital saves separate? They're not separate saves. So I could like put the physical in and play the physical, put the take it out, play the digital, and that's fine. It's just a case of I just don't have the digital version of the game. I sometimes will buy a physical copy of a game, like, I will buy a digital copy to have access to the game, like, 12 hours before I otherwise would via time zones. But if there's a game that I want, like, to have access to long term and not worry about, like, oop, a license for a piece of music expired, that game's gone forever, I will sometimes buy it physically, even if I already have it digitally, just because I like the security of having a physical game library. And knowing that a game that I have a physical copy of is a game that I will never not have access to. There are certain games I want to make sure that, like, if the, in like 15 years when the Switch eShop shuts down, I don't lose my ability to play, like, Sayonara Wild Hearts or something. 3 eggs left to go. We're nearly there. I've been having an interesting time watching news headlines on gaming websites tonight. So there was a news update that an update for Spider-Man 2 that was meant to be coming in December has been pushed back to early 2024 now, which is like a shame. But it's been interesting looking at which sites cover this news in which way, because there are two main things that have been delayed by this, this update being delayed. One is a bunch of really important accessibility features. The other is New Game Plus. And it's really interesting seeing which websites prioritize framing it as accessibility updates for Spider-Man 2 delayed, but beyond the 2 months people have already been waiting for them, and which ones are running New Game Plus gets delayed as the headline. I'm not saying either's wrong for doing so, different audiences, different focuses, but it's always interesting watching in a story like that which bit is is considered the headline. Last possible shiny. No. Alright, sorry, one sec. My phones are buzzing away. I'm just double checking none of this is too important. There we go, right. I'm gonna reset this because no point in having used up the money for the egg sandwiches if none of these are shiny. So we're gonna reset, and I'm gonna try. I'm gonna check the mass outbreaks again, see what pops up, and then probably just gonna go and do some online raid battles. I think that's where we're at. Let me in. Time for game. Okay, what are the mass outbreaks this time? Magneton, the deer thing, the snot-nosed cub, Fanfy. Fanfy. What does shiny Fanfy look like? Pineco. Oh, you're a real similar one in your first stage. Yeah, we're not gonna fuck with you. What we're going to do is join the Poke Portal. We're gonna try and find some raids of Pokemon that tend to give have a good chance of dropping a good number of Herba Mystica. Certainly not guaranteed, but there are certain ones I'm gonna try and jump on. Oh, it's going to be a bunch of people doing Palkia and the Alga raids, isn't it? Because that's going on at the moment. Ooh, Dondozo. Dondozo's a good A good one for Herba Mystica if we can get in. Trying to join, like, random matchmaking for raids is still the worst part of this game. It is the biggest technical issue with this game. I can already tell it's taken too long to load. We're not going to get into this match. But it's going to insist on sitting on this loading for a good, like, 30 or 40 seconds to then tell me the match is full and I can't get in. Like, it couldn't just look for another Dondozo raid 5-star going on at the moment and, like, queue me up into the next one. It's like, no. We showed you 8 raids happening in the world, and if you weren't one of the 4 fastest people in the world to click it, you're not getting in. Also, you can't press X to search for new postings until you've waited a while. Unhelpfully. Might as well try and get into this one a second time. Not going to. Communication failed. Yeah, now that it's gone, you'll tell me quick. Waiting for it to acknowledge. You know, let me refresh these 8. Just give me a huge scrolling list of like all of them in like a given country or something. Why are you showing me 8 at a time? Yeah, now I can't press check for new postings because it's trying to connect to the Dondozo raid again. I can't say, no, actually this is taking too long. Let me check for new postings instead. Can't do that. Ridiculous. Okay, let's load up 8 more and see if a good one. Milotic might give us okay drops. I genuinely don't remember if that's on the good Herba Mystica drop list or not. But okay, fine. What type is this even? It's a what? Psychic type? I don't recognize that symbol. You know what? I'm gonna do the classic. Oh, I have a bunch of eggs for something in this box still, huh? Let's get to the right box and let's grab. Yeah, let's just use good old Azumarill. If I don't know what I'm supposed to be sending in for a raid, I just send in Azumarill. Belly Drum Azumarill's great. Kazuke Takahashi says, woo, at work, but wanted to say hi. Hi, hope work's going okay. Yeah, I think that's Psychic. Yeah, I wish we just got like I agree. I wish we got like 3-letter abbreviations for the type. A wavy star could mean so many things, and I don't remember what's what. But I am trying to grab something cool from the other side of my office that I should probably grab if we're going to be streaming Pokemon night tomorrow. My cool piece of Pokemon tat that I definitely don't need to own, but I do, and it's cool. We'll get it out in a second. Yeah, fuck it. We're just gonna belly drum play rough. The classic standard. I don't know what else to run against this. It'll be fine. Oh, used Attract. Is Attract gonna stop me attacking? Let me do my Shell Bell play rough. It's how I'm gonna keep myself alive from the belly drum. Okay, that was decent enough. Yes, while this is loading, let me show you my fancy Quick Ball replica that I have in my office. That does the little flashing animation of is it going to catch? And it flashes in different colors whether you successfully caught or did not catch the Pokemon. It's got like a little box it goes in. It is an entirely unnecessary thing that I feel very happy to have just sitting in my office. And go get my little Quick Ball out and be like, ah, yeah. Okay, there's some people saying that Indigo disc drops in an hour. A lot of people are suddenly saying 1 hour until it drops. And other people are saying 2 hours. I think some people are just assuming it drops at midnight because, like, oh, it launches on the 14th, so once it's midnight, it'll be the 14th in the launch. I don't know where else people would be getting an hour from now from. If it launches in an hour, we'll probably play, like, the opening of the... We'll probably fuck around at the start of the DLC tonight. Bedtime be damned. I need to pull up the list of stuff that has good Herba Mystica drop rates. I can see what I need to actually be loading into. My understanding, what I had been seeing was, in all time zones, it will launch at the same time. So it's not like this time in your time zone, it's like, no, 2 hours from now, it launches everywhere in the world at once. Like, what I've heard is it's about 2 hours from now, but whatever time it is, it's a global release for the DLC. You can play it at whatever country you're in at that time. Yeah, I know there's, like, some snobbery around, like, people not liking the Quick Ball, but, like, I just think it's the coolest Pokeball design. It's blue and yellow and covered in fucking lightning bolt designs. It's such a neat design. And mine lives in a little box that looks like I put it on, like, a healing platform in the Pokemon Center. Come on, is there anything official anywhere that says when it release? Yeah, of course, no. What are the good Herba Mystica drops? Drop rates. Let me see. I know Dondozo's on the good list. Blissey, I know, is on the good list. Trying to remember stuff that's worth attempting if you see it in this list. Is Clorf on the good list? I feel like it might be. Let's check. What has is Clorf on the list? Clorf in 6-star. Okay, we'll try entering it. We're probably way too late to get into this one. 6-star Clorf is an option for Herba Mystica. Or salty Herba Mystica. I want the table that tells me, like, what are the things that drop a lot of them. I know that is a list that exists somewhere. Okay, this is the one I was looking for. Right. Amoonguss, Appleton, are these sorted by order? No. Okay. Fine. Honestly, anything on these lists is probably good. Let's refresh. That's a 6-star Clorf. We'll go for it. I probably should have gone for the 5-star Dondozo. I think that drops higher numbers, but Clorf is one that I saw. Tad says, I just got into that Ditto bug raid on screen. Considering there's all these raids in the world, how did 2 of us get shown the same one? Okay, fine. Let me into the Dondozo one. Yeah, because the thing is, any of these Pokemon that are known to have good drop rates for Herba Mystica, the raids close in, like, seconds, because everyone knows those are the ones that drop lots of Herba Mystica. Ooh, there's a Luxury Ball replica that that Wand Company made. I kind of want it. I'm pretty sure this is that same company that make the Quick Ball replica. I'd seen lots of different Pokeball ones, but the Quick Ball was the one where I was like, I broke. I bought that for myself after the first time that, like, Gender Euphoria had like a really, really good royalty statement. Like, it paid out very well. I think it was when the book had just launched in America, and suddenly we had a new wave of people picking it up, and I was like, this is the most I've ever been paid for like one project I did. I think I can let myself have the fancy Pokeball on my desk. Yeah, apricorn balls are lovely. I do love the idea of like crafting a Pokeball out of like an acorn somewhere in the world. That is a lovely concept. 6-star Dondozo, let me in. Come on, let me in. It's so frustrating. It should not be this bad to join. Like, I should just be able to go, I want to battle a 6-star Dondozo raid, and enter a queue, and if there is an empty spot and I am the top person in the queue, I get put in that raid that's looking for members. Right, that seems so easy. Okay, it's bug type. So, I should probably send in the Goldengo to do the big... Yeah, let's throw in the Goldengo to do big metal damage. You want to know what would be neat? Being able to change a Pokemon's Pokeball. I have a Feraligatr from my old copy of Crystal that I want to put in a lure ball. Yeah, that is one of the few things you can't do, and it would be lovely to be able to do. Friend balls are great, but there's a thin line towards Phil's balls. It's weird how Nintendo seems to be dedicated to making their online functionality as non-functional as possible. Yes, shiny hunting in this game functionally requires you to do online raids, which sucks, because the online raids in this game are not well implemented. If you're going to make shiny hunting require... If you're gonna make it require, here we go, so that's gonna put up my, special attack. Yeah, if you're gonna make it require online battling, your online battling system has to be really good. Yeah, okay, let's try and like really be the supporter until we're ready to do the one big attack and try and take this thing's health out in like one shot. Hey, Kazokla. Apologies for mispronouncing. I'm gonna wave crash. How damaging is that? Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Let's try a steel beam. Okay, that's pretty substantial. Oh, you're gonna keep trying to spam Yawn on Goldengo, who's unaffected. Oh, that's great. Goldengo's gonna soak up a bunch of turns while you try and status effect me because of the way that the AI constantly wants to inflict status effects when it can. Okay, so we're gonna use heal up. I do have mac and cheese on my team. Oh, Terra, that's lovely news. Okay, not good. Yeah, you are really taking bigger hits, Goldengo, than I expected you to. I really thought you were gonna be our big sweeper here. Yeah, this is not ideal. Yeah, we need to be doing metal, yeah, I need to be metal sounding to really bring those... Oh, can I not do the bring your stats down now? Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna need to nasty plot, nasty plot, nasty plot, nasty plot, and just do like one big metal sound. Julia Oob in the Twitch chat says, "Hi Laura, don't know if it's been asked already, when does the DLC become available?" Officially, they haven't said. We're basing this off of, like, when it usually releases and when the home maintenance is happening. We think in about an hour and 45 minutes, so 1 AM UK. Softex, you're not bad at reading the room, it's fine. The room has an inconsistent tone of conversation. Yeah, Dondozo's still trying to yawn. I think sending Goldengo in was the right call. I just needed to, like, really play it defensively and have it soak up a bunch of the attack turns. I forgot that Goldengo, that I didn't have, like, the big attacking move on Goldengo. I just had the one that was doing self-damage, so I can't chip at it. I really needed to, like, stat buff both ways, single attack, try and solo it. I forgot how this Goldengo was statted to be used. Yeah, we're not winning with this. Fuck it, do a steel beam. Yeah, this one just isn't. This one's just not gonna happen. That's on me. I picked a bad fucking Pokemon for this and just didn't remember how this one was set up for use. Okay, that's fine. We'll try another raid. We're gonna get at least one successful raid tonight. It's gonna be lovely. If anyone happens to find a raid that's got good Herba Mystica and wants to invite me, that'd be great. I'd love that. I'm half tempted to look in. There's a couple of Discords I'm in where people collect, like, here's a link to a raid with good Herba Mystica drops. You've got to be real fucking fast to type in the code quick enough to get into them. But I'm half tempted to, like, Gargnackle. I think this is one that is on the good drops list. If it is, we can just send that Azumarill in and be fine. So we're looking at 6-star raids. No, okay. Leafeon, or is it just... No, it's just Glaceon. That's Annihilape is not on the list. What's the name of the Sharky? The 6-star list. No, okay. What's a good way to tell if a raid has Herba Mystica? Google the list of drop rates for Herba Mystica. I am looking at a list right now of, here is a list of all the 5-star raids that are capable of dropping Herba Mystica and what percentage drop rate they have. Split between 5 and 6-star raids, because sometimes a Pokemon will drop Herba Mystica in the 5-star, in the 6-star version of the raid, but not the 5-star, so you can't just rely on the Pokemon, you've got to look the Pokemon and the class of raid it's in. There's no other good way to do it, but just sort of know. It tends to be, like, very big, tanky Pokemon that have, like, a big HP pool you're gonna have to fight through. A lot of those. And then just a lot of random ones. I got 7 Herba Mystica off a single Blissey raid once. Blissey raids are great. Clorf. Clorf can drop them. 6-star Clorf can drop. Right, Zalno, it's great when Pokemon obfuscates all their bullshit. I would like to have a tick box where I go, I would like to be put into a random raid that has a drop chance of dropping Herba Mystica. I don't mind what it is I fight. Oh, I put the fucking Chespin in. No, and I can't change my Pokemon now. I'm committed to fighting with the low-level Chespin. But at least the low-level Chespin won't cause a huge amount of, I button mashed, that's on me. Won't cause the meter to go down a lot, because it's the higher the level you are, the more time goes away when you're knocked out. I'm just gonna have to be a support user, spamming attack up, defense up, heal for the team. I'm trying not to be a huge inconvenience. God, yeah, no, I button mashed, and because this would have been a perfect fucking raid to send in that Azumarill. The Azumarill is would have been the perfect Pokemon for this. Yeah, what level is my fucking Chespin or Chesnaught? It's gonna be at least level 30. Oh, it's level 85. Maybe we can make this work. You only have, like, fucking Vine Whip and shit, but... Yeah, no, I shouldn't even be attacking you. I should just be running the support moves. I should be doing the support cheers. Relying on someone else to... Yeah, this Pokemon was designed for breeding a shiny. It was not designed for use. Yeah, raise everyone's attack. Okay, I'm tanky enough to not be taking ridiculous damage. The meter is up. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play support. Heal up on myself and everyone else. Let's keep everyone healthy. Allow everyone else to be the carry on this raid. I should probably put the spiky defense on myself, prevent myself taking damage, maybe do some damage in response. Thankfully, this Clorf really isn't doing big damage to us. If I just keep doing go all out, I can help everyone else get the damage buffed. But this isn't the end of the world. Was that my last cheer? Do I only get 3? I might only get 3. If so, I really should have probably saved them for healing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, spiky shield. Look, I could have beaten this raid if I'd sent in my Azumarill, but I really just sent in a Pokemon that was not designed for fighting. Yeah, I'm just going to try and use Spiky Shield. It is Protect with a bit of damage to the attacker. That's going to keep me alive. If it succeeds, it prevents me taking damage, and it damages the claw. I think right now, preventing myself taking damage so that I don't hurt the timer is the best way. Yeah, I tried to use it twice in a row, didn't work twice in a row. That's to be expected. But that means it should be fine to use again this turn. Yeah, just to chip damage if it tries to attack me and keep myself alive. I'm at least not being a detriment to the team. I haven't fainted, which means that I'm not hurting the team. I can make this work with my very subpar. I wasn't the first Pokemon to get knocked out. That's fucking great. That's honestly a big surprise. You might want to alternate between Growl and Spiky Shield. It's physical attacker. You know what? You're right. I'll throw in a Growl. So that I'm doing something on the off turns. Yeah, rather than, like, 90% of the time have a failed Protect on the second turn. Yeah, bring down that physical attack a little. Yeah, Zalno, good shout. I got laser focused in because my plan fell apart. Chestnut, you did okay. Big props. You held your own. The Palkia fainted, but you did not, Chestnut, so well done. Okay, and will I get any Herba Mystica? No, it's like a 1 in 20 chance. It was not a high chance. I got a bottle cap. That's nice. Got some mints and like 12 ground Terra shards. That's cool. Yeah, we're gonna do a few more. We're gonna stick around at least another half hour or so, just in case the people who are saying it's 35 minutes from now, not an hour and 35 minutes from now. We'll see if they're right or not. Okay. Is it legal to grow your own Herba Mystica in the UK? Well, why do you think I'm doing raids for my Herba Mystica? You know, I'm too afraid to take the risk of growing my own Herba Mystica, you know. It's the winter, they'll notice that, you know, you need quite a warm place to grow Herba Mystica, and they'll notice that, like, the snow is melting the second it hits my roof, and, you know, next thing you know, they'll be knocking down the door going, show us where you're growing your HMs. As they do. Is Scyther able to... No. Mienfu? No. Amaswine? No. Cool, we just have to wait around for refresh the, to be allowed to refresh the thing. Just let me refresh. Let me refresh. If none of these are ones I want to do, why do you make me wait this long to load new raid options? I'm pretty sure Avalog is on the 6-star Herba Mystica raid list. No. Is it on the 5-star? Did I make this mistake? No, I'm gonna back out of this raid. Avalog is not on the list. I thought Avalog was on the list. Is Clodsire on the list? No. Weavile. Is Weavile on the 5-star list? No. No, none of these can give Herba Mystica. Tad said, yeah, it is, I checked. Well, then am I looking at a bad list? What's wrong with my... Why does my list say Avalog isn't... Oh, I hate trying to keep up with this stuff. Okay, just give me a list. Tad, if you've got, like, a good list where I can just look at the list in one place and go, these are the ones I should be trying to do. Best raids for Herba. I can't find the website I used to use for this. Oh, is this the one? Table of the Terror Raid Pokemon with higher Herba Mystica rates. Yes, this is the list I used to look at. So these are the ones that have the highest drop rates, but also the highest rates of doing multiple. So... Legion's not on there. But yeah, like, there are some that can do Herba Mystica, but they're, like, lower chance. What I ideally want is Driftblim, Electros, Gengar, Glalie, Palafin, Amoonguss, Blissey, Satitan, Dondozo, Farigiraf, Vaporeon. Those are the ones I am ideally looking for. It would be nice if they fixed the online raids in the new update for the DLC. I really don't think they're going to. I think they've just accepted that this is what they are. I'm going to pull up one of those Discords where there might be people hosting raids. I can try and type in a code real quick and probably not get into it. Okay, there's a bot hosting automated Herba Mystica raids. So like 2 minutes ago was the last time it posted, and then before that was minutes before that. Oh. You know what? I'm going to keep an eye on this Discord and see if it throws up a code and try and type that code in fast, because if so, it might be a Vaporeon raid for 10 Herba Mystica, maybe? If accurate. No, I accidentally clicked on a thing, now I'm locked out of interacting for a while. Can't even check new postings. It's like, no, can't be doing that. It's clear I'm not going to connect game. Just let me let me opt out. Anything on the new list that's no. I'm gonna put link code and I'm gonna try and via this method very quickly type in a code when one shows up in a sec. Which from the looks of it should be about now. Try the last code just on the off chance. It's not gonna... W... E. Any luck? Probably not. Yeah, no communication partners found. Offer a new code in there. Anything in the live hosting room? Item raids. Okay, let's get back to hoping that they'll let me refresh. This online system is trash. This is not how a good video game should be doing online matchmaking. Here are 8 out of 1,000 options. If you don't like them, wait 2 minutes to look again. If there is one you like, you've got to be one of the 4 fastest people in the world to click on it. Look, I'm not usually one to complain about Nintendo's online, but, like, this game really fucking takes the piss. Boonduck God, I don't know for certain. Oh, one sec, let me try this. H, W, Y, 4, D. Hey, can I get into that one? What time does the DLC release? Maybe in an hour and a half. That is currently a guess, but it is the guess that seems likely based on past experience and when the home maintenance is happening. But that's not a confirmed fact. Some people are saying in half an hour, some people say an hour and a half. Nope, that one's already full. Yeah, this is the night before DLC. No way I'm getting into a raid like that via one of those groups. Sorry, I was in the middle of trying to type in codes. Yeah, we reckon in about 90 minutes. Don't know for certain. For now, we're just trying to find some Herba Mystica raids to do, but this game's online is terrible, and therefore no good Pokemon are showing up, and then we wait like 2 minutes, and then a Pokemon that's good for Herba Mystica shows up, and click on it, and it's like, nah, it's full already. Come on. Oh, I need to change back to my cool outfit. Will Ogerpon be on your team to spike Kiki? Now, I hadn't been planning on it, but now you mention it, that is actually a very fun way to start the DLC. I like that a lot. Now, game, if you would let me reset. Check for new postings, please. I don't like these 8. Let me press X, just like just a little faster than you'd currently let me. Ugh. Let me in. Don't think any of these are the good list. No, that's a 4-star Clodsire. Even if Clodsire was one that could give Herba Mystica 4 stars, I'm not going to drop Herba Mystica. Wishful thinking at this point. Clicking on anything that even vaguely like the right kind of suggestion. I'm going to try one more refresh and then... The temptation to give up on trying to get into a raid for Herba Mystica is growing by the minute. I'm looking still for if there's anything official about when. All I'm seeing is a lot of people going, I'm streaming now, ready for ready for the DLC. I'm like, cool, same, we're all ready for the DLC. Just need to know when it is so I know whether to stay up and play some tonight or whether to be sensible and get some sleep and get up in the morning to play it. Nintendo, let me play let me play the games now. I've been very well behaved. I think I deserve a little Indigo disc as a treat, you see. Okay, we're refreshing. None of these are on the good list. Softex says if you get to wait until the morning, you'll get to play for longer. That says I would go to sleep at all and not just stay up playing, you see. You don't know that. You don't know me. My willingness to brute force a Pokemon. When I got Scarlet and Violet early, I might have stayed up till like 3, 4 in the morning playing it, when my copy showed up before it was meant to. The last reset before I get annoyed with trying to find a good raid. Like, I might go check my own raids for if I have a 6-star that's one of those Pokemon. Let me in, you cowards. You're afraid of the power I will possess if I'm allowed to join a shiny raid. Yeah. Oh, I accidentally clicked out, which means that the amount of time... I think the amount of time I have to wait to be allowed to click the refresh button has reset. Because I interacted and now I gotta start waiting all over again. Woo! Let me in. Is there any gaming news I should be aware of while we wait for this to let me press the X button once? Is anything interesting leaked? Ooh! All of the Epic Games Store holiday sale free games seem to have leaked. Or, okay, not what they are. There are going to be 17 games for free between December 13th and January 3rd. The first one is Destiny 2 Legacy Collection, which is currently available. The 19th to the 20th is when the next free Epic Store game is going to be. Interesting. Nintendo... Tynan Wolf says, Nintendo Online simply cannot handle the power of Laura. She's been a Pokemon master since 1996. She's unstoppable. Well, apparently I am stoppable. You just have to... you just stop me clicking X. That's how you stop me. On December 6th, the day of the Game Awards, Sega filed trademarks for Altered Beast, Jet Set Radio, etc. But the Blade video game has been in development since January 2022. Glaceon. I saw Glaceon on a list of things that could do Herba Mystica. Come on. Let me in. We'll try have a look if we can't get into this. Yeah, nothing else. Oh, Softex. I was born before that. I'm in 1991, so I'm what, 32? 32 now? Dragapult is not on the list, as far as I can see, of, like, good drop rates for potentially multiple Herba Mystica. There are some that can drop Herba Mystica, but usually will only drop one. There are some that have much higher rates and can drop multiples. Look, I might still be baby by your metric, but not as much. Wait, did they all name leaked? Weirdold? I don't know. Maybe they did. I've not seen leaked names of the Pokemon from the DLC. If all the names have leaked, I haven't seen them. Yeah, okay, so in terms of team for the DLC, I think I should have Diplin and Duraludon on my team because I know they both have evolutions. We've seen Duraludon's evolution. Diplin can use Eviolite, the item that gives you a boost to your stats if your Pokemon still has an evolution it hasn't done yet, which suggests it's getting an evolution, possibly 2 that are version different, maybe. Nothing seeming on here. There we go. Yeah, I should probably be putting on my team, like, I should probably have, the mask-wearing Pokemon, whose name I've already forgotten. Duraludon, Dipplin. What else do I put on that team? Is there anything else that I have reason to believe is going to have a new evolution that would be fun to put on the starting team? That, like, official material has suggested we're getting an evolution for. Just let me refresh. Terra Normal Adaptability Porygon Z. So I'm going to talk about a thing that, like, hasn't been officially confirmed, but that was leaked, like, 2 years ago by a very reliable leaker on modern Pokemon stuff, that I am excited to see because we are likely to see it finally play out in this DLC, which is, and I will be vague about specifics here, certain Pokemon having different forms when they terrestrialize into specific types, sort of like with our new mask-wearing Pokemon, who has, like, different terrestrializations depending on the mask. This would be kind of similar, but if you terrestrialized... I'm going to make up an example that isn't one I've heard that's just a random thing. Maybe if you terrestrialize Pikachu into a flying type, it gets balloons like Flying Pikachu from Gen 1. Like, that's an example of the kind of thing. Certain Pokemon will be getting specific different, like, not just I'm now made of crystal with a crystal crown on my head, but I have an entirely different design if you terrestrialize me into this specific type. Zalno says, I thought that was scrapped because Game Freak had issues getting it working in the base game or something. Maybe. My assumption was that it was being saved for this DLC because this is the one where stuff starts getting weird and funky with terrestrialization. Like, they tease it with the teal mask-wearing Pokemon in the first DLC. We meet the Terrapagos, or whatever it's called, the Pokemon that's, like, the source of the terrestrial phenomenon in this one. And that's why we're getting some weird, funky terrestrializations. Like Gigantamax, only specific Pokemon? Yeah, so specific Pokemon would have specific Terra types that would give them specific new forms. Maybe it was scrapped. I know it's a thing that, like, someone who is usually very on the money talked about at some point, and therefore I'm like, could be. I'm just gonna get into a raid. I don't care if I get Herba Mystica. I just want to be a part of being in combat. I want to do a fight in the video game, and not just wait around on this menu, so we're just going to fight something. Oh, I had a fun interaction today. So I never promote this fact because it feels self-centered to do. But in theory, I'm on Cameo, which is a place where you can pay someone to, like, record. Usually it's for celebrities, and I'm also there for some reason. You can pay someone to record a message for you for, like, a happy birthday to so-and-so. Oh, you found a 6-star Blissey raid and joined it. Congrats. But yes, like 2 or 3 times I've had Cameo requests and, like, done a little clip for like a $5. I've done a clip for someone. It's been nice. But I got a message today from someone wanting, like, a 24-hour turnaround with a message they wanted me to read, and it's very clear that they were, like, a transphobic troll, like, and the message was a joke. But I was like, I mean, I could just read it, and then you do owe me money. And I'm like, how much am I willing to bet this person was, like, expecting to rattle me enough that, like, I was upset, and not expecting to have, like, oh yeah, no, you've been charged money for that. I hope it was worthwhile for Laura to record a message in which she uses the phrase hairy cock. I'm like, is that worth, like, 12 quid to you? I don't know whether that's... whether I have, like, haha, I win in that situation or not. If I... like, if I get money out of their pocket, did I win? Well, Softex, I know this is my stream and the stream is centered around me. It feels pretentious. I never mentioned that I have a cameo because it feels very pretentious to go, I have a service where you can pay me to record a short video saying something to you. Because, like, that's the thing for celebrities. I'm not famous enough to need to be there. It feels pretentious to go, if you want to message on Cameo. But I had people ask and Cameo reached out and I was like, people have asked a couple of times, it's there if someone goes Googling looking for it. There's a politician in America who's been thrown out of Congress and he's on Cameo and he's made hundreds and thousands of dollars. Is this, George Santos? Who lied about absolutely every bit of his career? Is that who we're talking about? Waterfall, come on. Okay, I'm gonna have to use the heal everyone cheer in a second. Because I'm not successfully getting my attacks off, which means that I'm not getting my shell bell things. Yes, the number of things George Santos has seemingly lied about is fucking incredible. For anyone who's not aware, this man claimed to be Jewish despite being Catholic, claimed that his mother died in 9/11 despite her still being alive like 14 years later. His lies are just like very provable things. He got caught spending like political money that was supposed to be for politics on OnlyFans donations. Yeah, some of his Congress, running for Congress donations, I'll try and get an attack in. Why not? Let's try and get a heal that way. Yeah, the more I hear about George Santos, the more it's like, you really thought you were going to get away with this somehow. Like, he's claimed to have gone to, like, colleges and universities that have never heard of him. He's claimed to have gone to them on scholarships for various sports he's never played. He just... It's a magical rabbit hole to go down. Okay, let's belly drum and hopefully not get it negated this time. And try and... Oh, okay, you thunder wave me again. Let me get through the thunder wave this time so I can actually get my belly drum waterfall off. Come on. If I can hit with the waterfall... I'll get my health back and we should... Yeah, okay. That's... Belly Drum Waterfall was gonna do good damage if I just didn't get statused. Whizboom in the YouTube chat says, hey Laura, has Scarlet and Violet gotten any better since launch in your opinion? Hope the lung rot is clearing up. It's getting there. I'm coughing less than I was. Scarlet and Violet are still fundamentally, like, pretty janky. I think they're really fun games despite that. The DLC has given additional things to do. It's added stuff to the game. If you... Oh, I got a Herba Mystica. We got one. Well done, chat. We got one. Yeah. If the performance issues at launch were too big of an issue for you to enjoy the game, it has not changed so fundamentally that your opinion is likely to have changed. That is what I will say about it. If the performance issues were like a deal breaker for you at launch, they're not really that different now. It was never enough for me to not enjoy the games, but I know that my tolerance for that's a little higher than most. So, either in 10 minutes or in an hour and 10 minutes, we might have DLC available. We'll see. See what happens. Oh no, you lost in your Blissey raid. Yeah, screw it, we're sending the Azumarill back in. Azumarill is, if I don't know what else to send, Azumarill is just the good old go-to for, just being a nice, dependable raid Pokemon. EST would be... Okay, there are some people hoping for midnight Europe, which would be in 9 minutes. So, we'll see. We'll see if it happens. I don't know if God of War can drop Herba Mystica, but I'm hoping. Oh, we're going to be real low on health. We really need to... We need to get an attack out, like, ASAP. Ugh. Okay. That helps. If I can survive this attack, I can get the play rough out, and that will put me basically back to full health. I think. Yeah, this should be... Yeah, that's a good chunk of damage. Who's the tentacle monkey on the far right? That is Annihilate. It is a new evolution for Primate. It is ghost fighting type. It's pretty cool. You make it so angry that it dies and comes back as Angry Ghost. Okay, that Annihilate fainting isn't great for us. Okay, don't lower my stats on my side. Misty Terrain, okay. Oh, does that... Yeah, okay. Okay, how well is Play Rough going to work through your shield? It's not going to do as much damage. Okay, it did some. Not as much as I needed it to. Annihilate is great. I do like Annihilate a lot. Negative effects from itself, which means that Shell Bell is still... Belly Drum is still active. Okay, and my Belly Drum's no longer active. That's a problem. Heal up. Let's try and get that heal up ASAP. So that I can survive long enough to terrestrialize and start doing good damage again. What type will Terrapagos be? I've heard rumors. I don't want to say what I've heard because it feels like the big spoiler of DLC 2, if accurate. There might be something very interesting going on with Terrapagos' typing. And I wouldn't want to speculate beyond that. Yeah, okay. Lost the raid. That's on me. Oh well. It was a thing to be doing rather than just sitting around waiting for a good thing. Zalno says, I wouldn't be surprised if Terrapagos has all types somehow. Look, I don't think it takes a genius to speculate that if this Pokemon is the source of the terrestrial phenomenon, it might be all types or no types or a new type. And I won't get into specifics of which of those three I think is the case, and I don't know whether it will always be like that or that'll be a thing that will happen to it optionally, but I think being able to play with a Pokemon that is all types or no types or a new type is probably Terrapagos' deal. That's... I think one of those is probably the camp we're landing in. I didn't mean to click on you. Alright, we've got 5 minutes until maybe. Social media, if you search Indigo Disc, every post is just, when Indigo Disc? Is Indigo Disc when? But that does mean I think I'm in the right place because I will probably see people going, Indigo Disc now, when it happens. Why is Raid Battle Search so bad? Come on, 4 minutes. Be now. That would be so good. I'd appreciate it so much if you came out. If you released like now. Okay, let's check places where it might surface that it's available. Zalno in the Twitch chat says, everyone asks when/where is Indigo Disc, but no one asks how is Indigo Disc feeling tonight. Right? Where's the support for the Indigo Disc's feelings? Okay, we got an Akopraja. Is this a steel type? Is this a steel type raid? If so, what good steel options could I send in? We could do like Slither. No. Get level 100 Charizard. And you're gonna crash. Are you not gonna let me even select the Charizard? Okay, fine. Actually, yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Iron Hands. It's been a while since I've used Iron Hands for a raid. Let's send in fucking Iron Hands. Yeah. Two minutes until possible Indigo Disc occurrences. It's not in 2 minutes. It's in like an hour. If it's an hour from now, I should be sensible and go to bed. But the thing is, I know if I don't start playing it straight away, I'm gonna wake up in the morning to people trying to spoil me on it. Like, I know it. It's gonna be very difficult for me to play it unspoiled if I don't play some of it as soon as it's available. As sucky as that is. Wait, oh, that's normal type. Okay, that explains why you were sending in your Iron Hands. I was like, why are you sending in Iron Hands for Steel? These icons are not memorable. Yeah. Oh yeah, Akai in the chat said that was normal. It's just not a good image for conveying normal type. Like fire, water, those are obvious iconography. Everyone's Pokemon faint already. Okay, let battle. Can I select battle? Please? Oh, it's doing this. Okay. Let me select my attack, please. Just let me select an attack. It's been like 30 seconds since you've let me pick a move. Okay, Corporasha is paralyzed. That's helpful. Negative effects on itself. That means my belly drum is still active. That is good. Why are we getting so many of our team fainting? This is a really bad team that's come in. Okay, it's midnight. If it's out now, people should be like freaking out about it. Yeah, we weren't winning this. Too many feints on the rest of the team. Okay, let's get a save. And we'll check if there's an update available, I guess. Like, can we currently log into Pokemon Home is worth checking. Okay, let's just save. and close the game. Is Pokemon Home still active? Because if so, the DLC hasn't dropped yet. Because the DLC's not, like, the DLC is going to go live during home maintenance. So we can log into home. Okay. Home, oh, when does home maintenance end? Ends at 6. Okay, yeah. We are in the window of the DLC could drop. Pokemon just tweeted about it. I've seen someone else say, did they? Can you point me to a tweet? Oh, 2 minutes ago. Return to the Paldea region and venture into a yet undiscovered place within Area 0 to discover its meaning and treasure and the truth beyond Terrapagos' power. That does sound like it's available now. They tweeted about it at midnight, Europe. We'll give it a couple of minutes of try and do update and see whether update. But I'm not... I think this is going to be a I give up for tonight, and I stream this tomorrow during the UK daytime. I don't think it's happening this minute. It could here's the thing, it could be anywhere in the next 6 hours. People were like, well, the last few times it's been at blank, to assume 1 AM UK, but like, yeah, there is nothing to confirm that. You know what? I'm gonna be sensible. I'm gonna be sensible, and I'm gonna go get some sleep, I think, and come back and play this in the morning when the DLC is available, and I'll be back in the UK daytime and probably be streaming this like all day. So I hope you've enjoyed this stream of me just messing around waiting for this DLC to happen. Hopefully no one fucking spoils me in the morning when I stream, and I'm just gonna stream this all day, and it's gonna be great. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Any of you who are in time zones that are better attuned to stay up and see if it goes out, that's cool. If it does become available like in the next like few minutes, like if anyone's in the Discord or anything, just like tweet me or something and go like, ah, shit, it's available. Have a good night, everyone.